Part 1. Minho Kim walked through the massive doors of the council chamber. His heart beat fast, but his face stayed calm. He had waited his whole life for this moment. Behind him, Dr. Hana Park carried a small device that held all of Earth's achievements. She looked nervous. Captain Junho Lee walked beside them, his military uniform clean and perfect. His hand rested near his side weapon, though he knew he would never use it here. The chamber was bigger than any building Minho had ever seen. It stretched up so high that the ceiling disappeared into darkness. Thousands of alien beings sat in rows that circled around a central platform. Their seats rose higher and higher like a giant bowl. Some aliens had fur, some had scales, some glowed with soft light. Others looked like living rocks or floating clouds. Minho had studied them all, learned their names and customs. He thought he was ready. He was wrong. The platform in the center felt small under his feet. Lights focused on him from every direction. Millions of eyes watched him. Some eyes were curious. Most were cold. A few showed something worse than hate. They showed that the aliens thought humans were nothing, less than nothing. High Chancellor Vrex stood at the top of the chamber. He was huge, at least 3 meters tall. His body looked like a giant insect covered in black metal. When he moved, Minho heard clicking sounds. The Chancellor's voice came from somewhere deep inside his body. It sounded like rocks grinding together. "The creature from Earth may speak," Vrex said. He did not say human. He said creature. Minho took a deep breath. "Thank you, High Chancellor. I am Ambassador Minho Kim. I speak for the planet Earth and all of humanity. We come before this council with respect and hope. We ask to join the galactic community. We want to learn from you. We want to share what we know. We want peace and friendship with all species." His words echoed in the huge chamber. Then came silence. Long cold silence. Finally, Vrex spoke again. "Show us why we should care about your species." Hana stepped forward. She activated the device. Images filled the air above them. Earth appeared, blue and green and beautiful. Then came pictures of human cities, human art, human science. She showed them fusion reactors that powered cities. She showed them ships that could travel between planets in Earth's system. She showed them medical technology that could cure diseases. She showed them everything humanity had built in just a few thousand years. "We have grown fast," Hana said. Her voice was strong and clear. "We know we are young compared to other species, but we learn quickly. We solve problems. We never give up. We can add much to the galactic community." More silence. Then something terrible happened. One alien started laughing. The sound was high and sharp like breaking glass. Then another alien laughed. Then another. Soon half the chamber was filled with laughter. Different sounds from different species, but all of them were laughing at humanity. Minho felt his face get hot. Beside him, Junho's hand formed a fist. Hana stood still, but tears filled her eyes. "Silence." Rex's voice boomed. The laughter stopped. "Counselor Thessa will present the evaluation." A being made of crystal floated forward. Light passed through her body, creating rainbow patterns. Her voice sounded like music, but the words were cruel. "The humans are primitives," Thessa said. "They have barely left their home planet. Their technology is thousands of years behind ours. They fight wars with each other. They damage their own world. They kill their own kind. In their short history, they have caused more death and suffering than most species cause in millions of years." "That is not fair," Minho said. His voice was loud now. "We have made mistakes, yes, but we learn from them. We grow, we become better. Is that not what matters?" Thessa turned her crystal body toward him. "You are children playing with fire. You will burn yourselves and everyone near you. The Council must protect the galaxy from species like yours." Another alien spoke up. This one looked like a bear covered in purple scales. "The human shows courage, at least. Perhaps in another 1,000 years." "No," Rex said. "We vote now. All those who believe humanity should join the Council, raise your symbol." Minho looked around the chamber. Not one light turned on. Not one hand or tentacle or wing rose up. 0 votes. Complete rejection. "The vote is clear," Vrex announced. "Humanity is denied membership in the Galactic Council. Further, humanity is denied observer status. Humanity is denied access to Council trade routes. Humanity is denied access to Council technology. All member species are forbidden from providing aid to Earth. This decision is final." The words hit Minho like physical blows. Not just rejected, isolated, cut off, alone. "You doom us," Minho said quietly. "We came in peace. We asked for nothing but a chance. And you lock us away like prisoners. We protect the galaxy, Thessa replied. When you are ready, if you survive, you may ask again. In 1,000 years, maybe 2,000. Minho turned and walked away. Hana and Junho followed. The chamber was silent now. No more laughter, but Minho felt the eyes on his back. Judging, dismissing, forgetting. They reached their small ship in the docking bay. It looked tiny next to the huge alien vessels around it. Inside, Minho sat down heavily. His hands shook. Hana cried quietly in her seat. Junho stood at the window looking back at the council station. Sir, Junho said, what do we do now? Minho was quiet for a long time. When he finally spoke, his voice was different, harder. We go home. We tell Earth what happened, and then we show them they were wrong about us. How? Hana asked through her tears. They think we are weak because we are young, Minho said. They think we are dangerous because we fight. They do not understand that those two things make us strong. Humanity has always done its best work when the whole galaxy says we cannot do something. Junho smiled. It was not a happy smile. We have faced worse odds. Yes, Minho agreed. And we are still here. The ship pulled away from the station. Through the window, the council building grew smaller. Its lights blinked like cold stars. Somewhere inside, thousands of aliens went about their business. They had already forgotten about the humans. That was their first mistake. As the ship jumped to faster-than-light speed, Minho made a promise to himself. The council had rejected Earth today. They had laughed at humanity's dreams. They had locked Earth away from the stars. But one day, Minho promised, one day soon, humanity would come back. And when they did, the council would not be laughing anymore. They would be listening, whether they wanted to or not. 20 years passed. Director Ji-won Song stood in a room that did not exist on any map. The room was deep under the mountains of Korea. It had no windows. The walls were thick metal that blocked all signals. Only 50 people in the whole world knew this place was real. She looked at the screens that covered one wall. Each screen showed a different secret. One showed a ship being built in the darkness behind the moon. Another showed a weapons test near Jupiter. A third showed human agents working on alien worlds, disguised and hidden. 20 years of secrets, 20 years of work, 20 years of anger turned into action. How many do we have now? Asked the president. He had flown here in secret, taking a path that avoided all satellites and tracking systems. Even his own security team did not know where he was. 240 ships, Ji-won replied, all fully armed, all equipped with weapons the council has never seen. We also have 60 supply stations hidden throughout the outer system. The council sends probe ships to scan Earth. They think we are still primitive. They do not look past Mars. They do not see what we have built. The president shook his head in wonder. 20 years ago, we could barely reach our own moon. Now you tell me we have an invisible fleet that rivals major council powers. Not rivals, Ji-won said. A small smile crossed her face. Exceeds. In some areas, we exceed them. Another screen showed Commander Yuna Cho in the cockpit of a new warship. The Horizon-class destroyer was not beautiful like alien ships. It had sharp angles and heavy armor. It looked like what it was built for. Fighting. Yuna's voice came through the speakers. Shadow Control, this is Horizon 1, beginning speed test now. On the screen, space around the ship bent and twisted. Then the ship vanished. It reappeared 1,000,000 kilometers away. Then it jumped again. And again. Each jump happened faster than the last. Jump speed is 30% faster than council standard, Yuna reported. Weapon systems charged and ready. Shields holding at maximum. All systems green. This ship is perfect. Ji-won allowed herself to feel proud. Good work, Commander. Return to base, she turned to the president. We did this without council help. Without council technology, we had to figure out everything ourselves. It made us better, stronger. How did we do it? The president asked. How did we go from chemical rockets to faster-than-light travel in 20 years? Necessity, Ji-won said, and anger. The council thought they could lock us on Earth forever. They were wrong. Every scientist on this planet worked on the problem. We shared all our research. No secrets between nations anymore. No competition. Just cooperation. When the whole human race focuses on one goal, we can do impossible things. She pulled up another screen. This one showed an old man with white hair and tired eyes. Professor Doyen Kang. He looked like he had not slept in days. "Professor," Ji-won said, "you asked for this meeting. What do you have?" Doyen smiled. It was the smile of a man who had just solved an impossible puzzle. "I have a gift, Director. A way for our ships to hide in plain sight." He pressed buttons on his console. Complex equations filled his screen. Every ship has an energy signature, like a fingerprint. When Council ships scan an unknown vessel, they read this signature and identify the species. This is how they caught our early scout ships. They knew immediately that the ships were human. "We know this," the President said. "That is why we stopped sending scouts into Council space." "Not anymore," Doyen said. His smile grew wider. "I have found a way to change our signature. We can make our ships look like any species we want. A Council ship scans us and we appear to be merchant vessels from some minor species. They see what we want them to see." Ji-won felt her heart beat faster. "You are sure? This works?" "I tested it myself," Doyen said. "I flew a small ship past a Council patrol. They scanned me. They let me pass. They thought I was from the Varelli species. I went to 3 different checkpoints. None of them knew I was human." The President sat down slowly. "Do you understand what this means? We can move freely through Council space. We can trade. We can gather information. We can prepare." "Yes," Ji-won said. "We can do all of that. The question is, should we?" Silence filled the room. This was the moment they had worked toward for 20 years. The moment of decision. The President stood. He walked to the wall of screens. He looked at the ships being built, the weapons being tested, the agents working in shadows. He looked at all of it for a long time. 20 years ago, the Council rejected us," he said quietly. "They laughed at us. They called us primitives and children. They locked us away and told us we were not worthy. They thought we would give up, or destroy ourselves, or just fade away." He turned to face Ji-won. His eyes were hard. "Instead, we did this. We built wonders. We learned secrets. We became stronger than they ever imagined. And we did it alone, without their help, without their permission. We did it because we are human, and humans do not give up. So yes," the President continued, "we should use this technology. We should send our ships into the galaxy. We should trade and learn and grow. But we should do it carefully, quietly. We are not ready for another confrontation with the Council." "Not yet," Ji-won nodded. "How long? How long do we hide?" "Until we are strong enough that they cannot ignore us," the President said. "Until we are powerful enough that they cannot dismiss us. Until we are ready to stand before that Council again and demand respect." On the screens, another ship finished its test flight. Somewhere near Mars, construction crews worked on hull plating for the next vessel. On alien worlds, human agents gathered information and made contacts. All of it was invisible to the Council. All of it was building toward something bigger. Ji-won thought about Ambassador Minho Kim. He was retired now, living quietly on the coast. But she knew he still watched the stars every night, still remembered the day of rejection, still waited for humanity to prove itself. "We will make you proud, Ambassador," Ji-won whispered. "I promise." The President prepared to leave. Before he went, he turned back to Ji-won. "One more thing. I want a name for this operation. Something that captures what we are doing." Ji-won thought for a moment. Then she smiled. "Shadow Initiative. We work in shadows. We move unseen. We build in secret. And when the time comes, we step into the light." "Shadow Initiative," the President repeated. "I like it. Make it happen, Director." After he left, Ji-won stood alone in the secret room. She looked at the screen showing humanity's hidden strength. 20 years ago, Earth had nothing but dreams and determination. Now they had a fleet. Now they had technology. Now they had a plan. The Council had rejected humanity. They had tried to cage Earth and keep humans locked away from the stars. But they had forgotten something important, something that every human child learned in history class. You cannot keep humanity down. You cannot make humans give up. And you definitely cannot make humans accept that they are not good enough. The Council would learn this lesson soon. Very soon. Captain Sora Nam checked her ship's systems one more time. Everything showed normal. The energy signature read as Varelli. The ship's registration appeared valid. Her crew of 15 looked like ordinary traders from a dozen different species. No one would guess they were all human. She had been doing this for 6 months now, trading on Nexus Point, a massive station that floated at the edge of Council space. It was the perfect place to operate. Thousands of ships came and went every day. Security was loose. The station master cared more about trade taxes than questions about who people really were. Sora had made friends here. Real friends. She felt guilty about lying to them, but orders were orders. Humanity needed eyes and ears in council space. They needed to learn how the galaxy really worked. And they needed to build relationships before revealing the truth. Captain, her second officer called from the scanner station. We have a problem. Sora moved quickly to his side. The screen showed red alerts. What am I looking at? Pirate ships. At least 20 of them. They are moving toward the station. He tapped more controls. They are jamming communications. No one can call for help? Sora swore quietly. Pirates attacking Nexus Point was rare but not impossible. The station had defenses, but they took time to activate. People would die while waiting for the systems to come online. She opened a private channel. All shadow ships, this is Nam. We have a situation. Are you seeing this? 5 other captains responded. They were all humans, all disguised, all pretending to be ordinary traders. Together they had 6 combat-capable ships near the station. I see them, Captain Bora replied. What are your orders? Sora made a decision that would change everything. We help them. We cannot let pirates kill innocent people, but stay in formation. Use only weapons that match our disguise, and for the star's sake, do not let them damage our masking systems. The 6 human ships moved as one. They had trained for this. They knew how to work together. The pirates saw them coming and laughed. 6 small merchant ships against 20 warships? It would be easy. The pirates were wrong. The first pirate ship exploded before it even knew it was under attack. Sora's weapons were disguised to look like old Vareli guns, but they were human military grade. 1 shot, 1 kill. The other human ships opened fire. Their movements were perfect. They flew in patterns that council species never used. They attacked from angles that should have been impossible. They communicated without words, moving like parts of one organism. In 3 minutes, half the pirate ships were destroyed or fleeing. The others tried to fight back. They shot at Sora's ship. 1 blast hit her shield and overloaded a power coupling. Sparks flew from the console. Alarm screamed, "Damage report!" Sora shouted. "Shield is down to 60%, her engineer called back. Wait, Captain, the masking system is damaged. It is failing." Sora's blood went cold. How long before it goes completely offline? Maybe 2 minutes. Maybe less. She looked at the tactical display. The pirates were almost finished. Just a few more ships to destroy. But every ship in the sector was scanning them now. Station security, merchant vessels, military patrols. When the masking system failed, they would all see the truth. All shadow ships, Sora said. My masking is compromised. Prepare for revelation protocol. Get ready to run. The last pirate ship exploded, victory, but it meant nothing now. Masking system is offline, the engineer reported. We are showing our true signature. Sora watched her displays. She saw the moment when the station's scanners identified her ship. Saw the security alerts start flashing. Saw communication channels light up with confusion and shock. Her comm system beeped. Incoming call from someone on the station. She looked at the ID. Tavo. The Grecian merchant she had been trading with for months. He had become a friend. A real friend. She accepted the call. Tavo's face appeared on her screen. He had 4 eyes that normally showed warmth and humor. Now they showed betrayal and hurt. You are human, Tavo said. It was not a question. Yes, Sora replied. There was no point in lying now. I am human. How long? Tavo asked. How long have you been lying to me? 6 months, Sora said quietly. I am sorry, Tavo, I truly am. But my people needed this. We had no choice. No choice? Tavo's voice was angry now. Humans are quarantined. Forbidden from council space. You broke the law. You lied to everyone. The council locked us away, Sora said. Her voice was firm. They rejected us without giving us a real chance. They tried to keep us on our planet forever. So yes, we adapted. We found another way. And I'm not sorry for that. Tavo was quiet for a moment. You saved the station today. Those pirates would have killed hundreds. Maybe thousands. You risked your secret to save us. Yes, Sora said. We did. That is worth something, Tavo admitted. Then his face hardened. But the council will not see it that way. They are already sending ships. A full enforcement fleet. They will arrest you. They will force you back to Earth. Sora nodded. She had expected this. How long do we have? 2 hours. Maybe 3. Then I should say goodbye, Sora said. Thank you for your friendship, Tavo. It was real, even if my name was not. She ended the call. Her crew looked at her with worried faces. They were far from home, surrounded by potential enemies. The secret they had guarded for years was now exposed. What do we do, Captain? Her first officer asked. Sora smiled. It was not a worried smile. It was the smile of someone who had been waiting for this moment. We do what humans always do. We call for backup. She opened a coded channel, a channel that reached all the way back to Earth. Shadow Control, this is Captain Nam. The secret is out. Repeat, the secret is out. Requesting immediate support, the response came quickly. It was Director Jiwon Song herself. Understood, Captain. Admiral Park is already moving. ETA 2 hours. Hold position. Help is coming. Admiral. Sora's first officer looked confused. What Admiral? Sora's smile grew wider. The one the Council does not know about. The one commanding the fleet they never saw coming. Outside the viewport, space began to shimmer. One by one, human warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel. 10 ships, 2050, they kept coming. Each one bigger and more powerful than anything the Council had seen from Earth. Admiral Kyung Park's voice came over the comm. It was calm and strong. This is Admiral Park of the Earth First Contact Fleet. We are here to retrieve our people. We mean no harm to Nexus Point or its inhabitants, but we will not abandon our own. On the station, thousands of aliens watched through windows. They saw the human fleet arrange itself in perfect formation. They saw weapons that could destroy the station 100 times over. But they also saw discipline and control. The Council enforcement fleet arrived an hour later. They stopped when they saw what was waiting for them. Humanity was no longer hiding. Humanity was no longer asking permission. Humanity was standing in the light, armed and ready, daring anyone to try and push them back into the dark. Ambassador Minho Kim walked through the doors of the council chamber for the second time in his life. He was older now. His hair was completely gray. His face had more lines. But his eyes burned with the same fire they had 20 years ago. This time, he was not alone. Dr. Hana Park walked beside him, carrying more than just a small device. She carried proof, evidence, data that would shock the galaxy. Behind them walked Admiral Kyung Park in her military uniform, standing straight and proud. Outside the station, 50 human warships waited. They were not hiding. They were not pretending. They were simply there, a message written in steel and energy. Humanity had arrived. The chamber felt different this time. Last time it had been cold and dismissive. Now it buzzed with nervous energy. Counselors whispered to each other. Some looked angry. Some looked afraid. A few looked curious. High Chancellor Vrek still sat at the highest seat. He looked even older than Minho. His metallic carapace had dulled. His movements were slower, but his voice still carried the weight of authority. The human returns, Vrek said. His tone was not welcoming. You were told to stay away. You were quarantined. You have broken council law by operating in our space. You have deceived us. You have built a military fleet in violation of the isolation order. Explain yourself. Minho stood at the center platform. He did not bow. He did not ask permission. He spoke with the voice of someone who had earned the right to be heard. We do not need to explain ourselves, Minho said calmly. We owe this council nothing. 20 years ago, we came here in peace. We asked for cooperation and friendship. We were rejected, mocked, laughed at. And then you went further. You tried to cage us. You tried to keep us on our planet forever. You were not ready, Counselor Thessa said. The crystal being still sat in her seat, though her light seemed dimmer now. You were primitive, dangerous. We protected the galaxy from you. Protected? Dr. Hana spoke up. Her voice was sharp. You call it protection. We call it fear. You were afraid of what we might become, and you were right to be afraid. She activated her device. Holographic displays filled the air. This time, they showed more than human cities and art. They showed warships, research stations, weapons that could destroy planets, technology that matched or exceeded anything in council space. In 20 years, without your help, we did this, Hana said. We developed faster-than-light travel. We built a fleet of 200 warships. We created energy shields stronger than yours. We invented weapons you have never seen. We did it alone. We did it in secret. And we did it because you tried to hold us back. The chamber erupted in noise. Counselors shouted at each other. Some demanded that the humans be arrested. Others argued about the legality of the quarantine. A few simply stared at the displays in shock. "Silence!" Rex's voice boomed. The chamber went quiet. "You admit to violating the quarantine. You admit to building weapons. You admit to deceiving us. These are crimes against the council. You should be punished." "Punished?" A new voice spoke up. Counselor Wren, a younger delegate from a mid-tier species, stood from his seat. "High Chancellor, I must object. The quarantine itself was illegal." Vrex turned to face him. "Explain." "The council charter is clear," Wren said. "No species can be prevented from developing technology or exploring space. We can refuse membership. We can deny trade privileges. But we cannot cage a species on their home world. The quarantine violated our own laws. The humans had every right to find their own path." Other counselors began nodding, the younger ones especially. They had not been part of the original decision. They had inherited a situation that was becoming more uncomfortable by the minute. Minho saw his opening. "We are not here to argue about the past," he said. "We are here to talk about the future. Humanity has proven we can survive and thrive in this galaxy. We have proven we can develop technology. We have proven we can defend ourselves. The only question now is this. Will you work with us or will you keep trying to push us away?" "Work with you?" Thessa's voice dripped with scorn. "You are a threat. Your warships prove it. You hide and deceive. You cannot be trusted." "We hid because you gave us no choice," Admiral Kyung said. She stepped forward. "You locked us away, so we found another path. Would you have done differently? If someone tried to cage your species, would you have simply accepted it?" Silence, because they all knew the answer. No species would accept being caged. Every species in that chamber had fought for their freedom at some point in their history. Counselor Wren spoke again. "High Chancellor, I move that we vote on granting humanity provisional membership status. Not full membership, not yet, but recognition that they exist and have rights. Recognition that they can trade and travel freely. Recognition that the quarantine was wrong and must end." Vrex looked around the chamber. He saw that times had changed. The old ways were dying. New counselors with new ideas were taking power. He could fight this. He could try to maintain the old order. But he would lose. And he knew it. "Very well," Vrex said slowly. "We will vote. All those in favor of granting humanity provisional status, raise your symbol." Minho watched the chamber. Lights began to appear, one by one. Some quickly, some slowly, some reluctantly. But they came. More and more lights. When the count finished, the result was clear. Not unanimous, not even close, but it was a majority. Humanity had won provisional status. "The vote is complete," Vrex announced. "Humanity is granted provisional membership in the Galactic Council. The quarantine is lifted. Humans may trade and travel freely. They will be evaluated for full membership in 5 years." It was not everything Minho had wanted, but it was enough. It was recognition. It was acceptance. It was humanity's foot in the door. As they left the chamber, Hana walked beside Minho. "We did it," she whispered. "We actually did it." "Yes," Minho said. "But this is just the beginning. Provisional status means they are still watching us. Still judging us. We have 5 years to prove we deserve full membership." Admiral Kyung smiled. "We proved ourselves once. We can do it again." They walked through the corridors of the council station. Aliens stared at them. Some with hostility, some with curiosity, some with what might have been respect. Near the docking bay, they passed High Chancellor Vrex. He stood alone, looking out a viewport at the human fleet. For a moment, Minho thought about saying something. But there were no words needed. Vrex turned and looked at Minho. Their eyes met. In that moment, understanding passed between them. The galaxy had changed. The old order was ending. A new era was beginning. Vrex gave a small nod. Not of friendship, not of approval, but of acknowledgement. Humanity could no longer be ignored. Minho returned the nod. Then he continued walking toward his ship, toward home, toward a future that was finally open to humanity. As their shuttle pulled away from the station, Hana looked at the council building shrinking behind them. "Do you think they will ever truly accept us?" she asked. Minho thought about the question. "Some will. Some will not. But it does not matter. We do not need their acceptance anymore. We have proven our worth. We have earned our place. The rest is just details. The shuttle accelerated toward the human fleet. 50 warships waited there, powerful and ready. They were not a threat. They were a promise. A promise that humanity would never be caged again. A promise that humans would stand on their own feet, walk their own path, and take their rightful place among the stars. The Council had mocked Earth's plea 20 years ago. But when humanity stood up, the galaxy had no choice but to listen. The Galaxy Council mocked Earth's plea. Then the humans stood up. 5 years had passed since humanity gained provisional status. The galaxy looked very different now. Captain Soranam stood on the bridge of her new ship. Not a disguised traitor anymore. This was a proper merchant vessel, registered legally with the Council. Her crew was mixed now. 3 humans, 5 aliens from different species, all working together like they had known each other forever. They were hauling cargo from Earth to a mining colony near the galactic core. Human-manufactured goods were popular now. Everyone wanted Earth computers because they were faster. Everyone wanted Earth medical equipment because it was better. Everyone wanted Earth ships because they were tougher. Her communications officer, a Grecian named Tavo, called out from his station. "Captain, we have clearance to dock at Nexus Point." Sora smiled. Yes, that Tavo. After the revelation, after the shock wore off, Tavo had reached out to her. He said he understood why she had lied. He said he respected that she had risked everything to save the station. And he asked if there was room on her crew for someone who wanted to see the galaxy with humans. "Take us in," Sora said. "Let us see what has changed at our old home." Nexus Point was bigger now. New sections had been added. More ships came and went. But the biggest change was the human quarter. An entire section of the station was now devoted to human businesses. Restaurants serving Earth food. Shops selling Earth goods. Even a small park with trees and grass grown from seeds brought from home. Sora walked through the human quarter with Tavo. They watched human children playing with alien children. They saw mixed crews laughing together in cafes. They saw what the future could look like. "It is strange," Tavo said. 5 years ago, humans were forbidden. Now look at this. Your people are everywhere." "Not everywhere," Sora replied. "But we are making progress. Slow progress, but progress." Far away, on Earth, Director Jiwan Song stood in a very different room. This one was not secret. This was the Human Diplomatic Center, built in Geneva. It had windows. It had visitors. It was open to the world and the galaxy. She was hosting delegates from 20 different species. They had come to discuss trade agreements, scientific cooperation, and cultural exchange. Things that would have been impossible just 5 years ago. A young human aide approached her. "Director, Ambassador Kim has arrived." Jiwan smiled. Minho had come out of retirement to help with the diplomatic push. He was too valuable to leave on the sidelines. "Send him in." Minho walked in slowly. He was very old now. He needed a cane to walk, but his mind was as sharp as ever and his eyes still burned with purpose. "Jiwan," he said warmly, "how go the preparations?" "Everything is ready," she replied. "The vote for full membership happens tomorrow. We have the support we need." Minho sat down carefully. "I never thought I would see this day. When we were rejected 25 years ago, I thought it might take centuries. But here we are." "We earned it," Jiwan said. "We proved ourselves. We showed them we could be trusted. We showed them we could contribute. We showed them we were ready. Did we change or did they?" Minho asked thoughtfully. Jiwan considered the question. "Both. We grew up. We learned to work with others. We learned patience. But they changed too. They learned that keeping species locked away does not make the galaxy safer. It just makes it smaller." The next day, in the council chamber, the vote took place. This time there was no mockery. No laughter. The debate was serious and respectful. Some councilors still had concerns, but most recognized what humanity had accomplished. Councillor Wren, who had become a strong advocate for humanity, made the final speech before the vote. 5 years ago, we gave humans a chance. They took that chance and proved themselves 100 times over. They trade fairly. They share their knowledge. They defend their friends. They have earned full membership. The vote was called. Lights appeared across the chamber. More than before, many more. When the count finished, the result was overwhelming. Humanity had been granted full membership in the Galactic Council. Minho watched from the gallery. He was too old to stand on the platform now. That honor went to a younger ambassador, but he was there to see it, to witness the moment humanity finally received what they had been denied so long ago. Dr. Hannah Park sat beside him. She was old too, her hair white, her hands shaking slightly, but she was smiling. "We did it, Minho, we actually did it." "Yes," Minho replied. But it was not just us. It was everyone. Every scientist who worked day and night, every engineer who built the ships, every diplomat who made connections, every human who refused to give up. They all did this. After the ceremony, Minho stood on a balcony overlooking Earth's capital. The city stretched below him, full of humans and aliens living and working together. Ships came and went from the spaceport, carrying people and goods to every corner of the galaxy. He thought about the journey, about the rejection that had hurt so badly, about the 20 years of secret work, about the revelation and the confrontation, about the slow building of trust and respect. A young woman joined him on the balcony. She was the new ambassador, the one who would take his place. "Ambassador Kim, I wanted to thank you for everything you did, for never giving up." "I did what anyone would do," Minho said. "I fought for my people." "You did more than that," she said. "You changed the galaxy. The Council used to reject species all the time. They used to quarantine worlds and forget about them. But after what happened with Earth, they changed. Now they help new species. They mentor them. They give them real chances. You did that." Minho had not thought about it that way, but she was right. Humanity's struggle had not just been about Earth. It had been about making the galaxy better for everyone. That night, celebrations happened all across Earth and in human communities throughout the galaxy. People danced in the streets. Ships fired salutes into the sky. Messages of congratulations came from allied species. On Nexus Point, Sora and her crew joined the celebration. Humans and aliens together, all of them happy. Tavo raised a glass. "To humanity," he said. "The species that never knew when to quit." "To humanity," everyone echoed. But the best moment came in the council chamber itself. A new species had come to request membership. They were young, nervous, hopeful, just like humans had been 25 years ago. The council listened to their presentation. Some counselors had concerns. The species was very young. They had limited technology. They had conflicts in their history. But then Counselor Wren stood up. "I move that we grant them provisional status. Let us help them grow. Let us guide them. Let us give them the chance that we once denied to others. Let us be better than we were." The motion passed. The young species was welcomed, not rejected. They would be mentored, not isolated. They would be given a chance to prove themselves. A human observer watched from the gallery. She was a young diplomat, learning the ways of the council. She saw what Wren had done. She saw how humanity's struggle had changed the system. She saw that sometimes the greatest victory is not just winning for yourself, but making things better for everyone who comes after. That night, Minho Kim sat in his home by the ocean. He was tired, so tired. His work was done. His mission was complete. He could rest now. He looked up at the stars. They did not seem so far away anymore. Humanity walked among them now. Humanity had earned its place. The Council had mocked Earth's plea 25 years ago. They had laughed at humanity's dreams. They had tried to cage humans and keep them small, but humanity had stood up. Humanity had fought. Humanity had earned respect through strength, wisdom, and persistence. And in doing so, humanity had not just won a place in the galaxy. They had changed what it meant to be part of the galactic community. They had made the stars a little brighter for everyone. That, Minho thought, was worth every struggle. That was worth everything.